Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation and welcome to the weekend. It is Saturday morning. For this week, there's not one single teacher that leads us into our daily meditation, but this week we have a whole collection of wisdom from really awesome teachers to kickstart our daily meditation. Grania, good morning. Danae, good morning. Anthony, good morning. Sunmudi, good morning. Happy Saturday to every one of you. Right, let's get into today's message. Do you sometimes crave a constant stream of sunshine and rainbows? We're bombarded with the messages about the importance of positive vibes, being positive and good energy. But what happens when life throws you a curveball, a frustrating setback, a stinging criticism, or a moment of pure sadness? Charlene, good morning. Happy Saturday. Deepak Chopra says, a calm mind is more important than a positive mind. I want you to pause on that for a moment. We see the virtue in being positive and having a positive mind, and Deepak Chopra creates a distinction here. He says there is a positive mind, there is a calm mind, and having a calm mind is more important than having a positive mind, a constantly, always positive mind. How does that sit with you? How do you feel about that? Take a deep breath, repeat this to yourself. A calm mind is more important than a positive mind. Today's meditation is a journey of our outer senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Is it important that the experience our senses give us must be positive and not negative? How do you feel about it when the feedback you get from your senses is not enjoyable? The truth is, we can't only have positive experiences. But with a calm mind, we can look at each experience for what it is and be okay, whether it is positive or negative. Can we apply this equally to our inner senses? Nisargadatta Maharaj says, whatever state I am in, I see it as a state of mind to be accepted as it is. Just like with our outer senses, the experience generated by our inner senses comes and also goes. Whatever I practice, I become better at. If I constantly practice resistance towards everything I don't want to feel, then I'm becoming better at feeling stressed, becoming better at feeling anxious, and creating a storm in my pond. However, if what I'm practicing is to accept the feeling without resistance, knowing I'll be okay even if this feeling is not nice, then what I'm getting better at is having a calm mind. I'm creating a more consistently calm pond. Honey, a very good Saturday morning to you, and Shabs, good morning, happy Saturday. A calm mind fosters resilience. It understands impermanence. Whatever arises will eventually pass. This allows us to navigate challenges with a clear head and make thoughtful choices rather than being swept away by the current of our emotions. So as you know, today's meditation is come to your senses. And we're practicing it today with an eye on this specific theme, that sometimes what our senses experience is not something pleasurable. In that moment, could we reach for a calm mind and just be okay with whatever the experience is? If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in. And out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Our journey today is the journey of experiencing this body and its senses. So we'll start right now by helping every part of this body soften. With your next big exhale, bring your attention to your forehead, the space between your eyes. Do you sometimes find yourself carrying a frown there? And in this moment, can you feel the space between your eyes completely softened? Take a deep breath in. As you release, bring your attention to the space in and around your mouth. Do you perhaps sometimes find yourself grinding your teeth? Or do you find your tongue pressed hard against the roof of your mouth? Or your jaw muscles clenched tight? Do you then remind yourself to take deep breaths. Massage your jaw muscles for a moment and soften the space in and around your mouth. With your next exhale, bring your attention to the space around your neck and shoulders. Do you sometimes find your shoulders pulled up high, almost level with your ears? And do you then remind yourself to drop them? Roll them out a little bit. Roll out your neck muscles a little bit. And then feel them hanging loosely off the sides of your body. With your next exhale, bring your attention to your stomach area, to your abdominal muscles specifically, the place where tension hides more effectively than anywhere else. Right now, are your abs held softly and lightly? With your next exhale, bring your attention to your butt cheeks. Are you perhaps clenching, or have you completely softened there? And then lastly, bring your attention to your arms and legs, specifically your hands. Do you sometimes find your hands held tightly into balled fists? And in this moment, are your hands lying half open in your lap? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, continuing to help our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left and lean your upper body over to the right. And then one more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as much as we can at the moment. We can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body and feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I'm reminding you that our journey today is a journey of this body and its senses. So as you take a deep breath, and as you dive deep into this body, perhaps also wrap your arms around this body and say to it, "Body, I love having you." Take your next big breath. The journey of our senses starts at the top and works its way through our bodies. The first stop is your eyes. For this exercise, we don't open them, we keep them closed, and we use our mind to see what our eyes would have seen. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, the question is, what is the most obvious thing that you would see if you were to open your eyes? So then, take the time to study this obvious thing with your mind. See it from all of its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. Then we change gears. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, what would be the least obvious thing that you'd see in the room that you are in if you were to open your eyes? Take a moment to find it. And then as you take a deep breath, as you dive deep inside, use the time to study this less obvious object. See it from all of its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. Notice your ability to have this experience without resistance. And notice also how whenever you have resistance to the experience, whenever your response is, but this is not what I want to see, I should be seeing something differently. Notice the unhappiness that accompanies resistance to the experience. We'll take another step down to what you can hear. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, bring your attention to the most obvious sound that you can hear. And then listen deep into that sound. Is there really just one sound, or are there layers of sound? Layers of vibration that make up this sound. Listen to all of the vibrations. Take your next big breath. change gears with your next big breath as you dive deep into you. Search the environment around you for the faintest sound, what is barely a whisper. And then lean in, draw all of that faint sound towards you and see how much of it you can hear. Take your next big breath. Notice the ease with which you have acceptance for what you're hearing right now. And notice also the unhappiness that comes along with resisting the experience you're having. When you have resistance to the sounds you're hearing, when everything in you screams, this is not what I should be hearing now. The resistance always brings along unhappiness. We are practicing calm acceptance of the experience. For the next 2 stops, change your breathing to whatever it needs to be in order to taste and smell. So the next stop is your nose, and what you can smell. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to whatever obvious smell you can find right now. It might take a moment to find it. Take your next big breath. Then we'll change gears, and as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, is there any other smell you can also find? Any other hint of smell besides the first obvious smell? Take your next big breath. Notice your calm acceptance of the experience right now. And notice also the unhappiness that follows when you have resistance to the experience. We'll take another step down to your mouth and what you can taste. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to whatever obvious taste you can find right now. Take your next big breath. And we'll change gears as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you. Is there any other taste at all that you're able to discern right now? Take your next big breath. Notice your calm acceptance for the experience right now. And notice also the unhappiness that follows when you have resistance to whatever the experience is. One more stop. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, scan the surface of your skin and find where on the surface of your skin is the most obvious sensation. And as you take a deep breath and dive deep inside, see if you can find all the collection of pressure and sensation in this obvious spot. Can you describe to yourself the different pressures and sensations? Take your next big breath. And one last stop. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, are you able to find a spot on the surface of your skin with the least sensation? Somewhere that perhaps cloth only just gently rests against skin, or even the air touching your forehead or your cheek. Take your next big breath. We'll take just one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time some of the messages from this morning's start. Deepak Chopra says, "A calm mind is more important than a positive mind. Why? Because a positive mind believes that it needs to tell a positive story about what I'm experiencing. That's not a bad thing. But often that tries to reach for something that is fake, an untruth in the presence of the moment experience. A calm mind, on the other hand, can see the experience for what it is. Maybe not so easy to tell a positive story about this experience, but at least I can sit with this experience. And I can try and be okay without any resistance to the experience. That is a calm mind. Nisargadatta Maharaj says, whatever state I am in, I see it as a state of mind to be accepted as it is. Whatever I practice, I become better at. If I consistently practice resistance towards everything I don't want to feel, then I am becoming better at feeling stressed, feeling anxious, feeling frustrated, and creating a storm in my pond. However, if what I'm practicing is to accept the feeling without resistance, knowing I will be okay even if this feeling is not nice, then what I'm getting better at is having a calm mind. I am creating more consistently a calm pond. It's worth reaching for this exercise often, cycling through your physical senses, just experiencing them as they are. And reminding yourself that this is something we get better at. I can slowly become better at having acceptance for every version of my experience. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for all of the experiences that this body gives me. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for getting better at this skill, because it is a skill. It takes practice. Thank you for getting better at the skill of having acceptance for every experience this body provides me. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for getting more and more of the peace that acceptance brings. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for really understanding that this experience, this exercise, this message does not mean I shouldn't ever take action on the experience. I can walk away from an experience if I choose to. But there's a big difference in walking away in anger, being frustrated, and having resistance to the experience, or walking away in calm acceptance that I have learned that this is an experience I don't want in my life, and therefore I'm calmly walking away. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for joining in our experience today. It is awesome starting my mornings right here with you. I really have appreciation for your presence. Thank you, honey. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Grania. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Sunmarie. And I think I saw Pat pop in earlier. Thank you, Pat. Have a beautiful day. Have an awesome Saturday. Have a great weekend. And if you feel like a quieter session, tomorrow will be that. Every Sunday meditation is a quiet one. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.